Wait, you guys haven't heard? It's the Very Real Fantasy Football Show!
My brother's dumb voice, dude. It cracks me up every time.
And if you know someone long enough, it doesn't matter what impersonation he does. It's like, I can, what that's stirred with.
What's up? Fantasy football for real. I don't know what the hell that was.
Me neither.
All right, something just hit the ground.
We're good.
Hopefully, it wasn't anything important.
That's not our house.
And I didn't flinch, so we're good.
And none of your kids are crying. So,
Dude, as a dad, certain noises get your attention, but that wasn't one of them.
Something fell.
Eric Pettigo, Eric Kranz, Big Dan.
Eric Dan. No? You guys, I was just going to take that one for a walk.
Derek Dan?
No, Derek Dan's tighter. Damn it. God, we should have workshopped it. No, Eric Dan.
Derek Dan.
Like Ricky Bobby,
Yes.
just Eric Dan.
I like it.
I
like it. 2 first names.
We got Eric here. We got Eric there. We got Eric Dan.
Big Dan.
Big Eric Dan.
Yeah, Big Eric Dan.
What up, BED? I'm up bed.
Fellas, we are 8 weeks into this season. I mean, we are staring down week 8 just right in the eyes.
Man, I'd like to break up with one of my team and another team I am romantically involved.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just things are going good, huh?
I don't know. I think by week 10 might be popping the question to this squad.
Oh, so you guys are like steady.
I'm telling you, we are.
steady.
Think about getting an apartment together.
Feels happily ever after.
Yeah.
But I got one team I'm like, man, if I can just figure out a way to get to the store for bread and never come back, that's ideal.
Yeah, no, I got a team also that gave me the ick, and now I'm not sure I can recover relationship-wise.
Yeah, it's tough once you look at them like that.
Yeah.
It gives the upsies timesies.
Sometimes it burns when you pee afterwards.
Whoa, your team.
Whoa.
Really,
Whoa.
really getting after it.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
That-
All right. Sometimes, I guess.
I mean,
Guess what the title of this show is going to be? Sometimes it hurts when you pee.
man.
So,
Only sometimes.
Not always, just sometimes.
I mean, if it does more than that, you probably got some sunburn going on there.
well, we're
Something.
We got
Naked swimming.
Something's burning.
once again plenty of stuff to get to, and we will. But I do want to talk about last week. Just a few things. 2 Monday night games.
2 of them.
2 Monday night games. The second one. So I'm sitting on my couch, because I'm like, the second one started. Let me flip over to the second one, see what's going on there. And I'm like, oh, where's it at? I'm cycling through my channels. I'm looking on my YouTube TV. I mean, I got YouTube TV. I've got Netflix. I've got Amazon Prime. I've got Peacock. I've got Paramount Plus, and I've got Max.
I mean, sounds like I can hear animals scratching around.
Yeah,
Ventura.
there's no reason I shouldn't be able to watch this game until I find out it can only be found on ESPN Plus.
Exclusive.
You don't have Disney?
I do have Disney.
You have Disney Plus?
I don't have the bundle though. I don't have the Disney, Hulu, ESPN Plus bundle.
Well,
Dear
I
Lord.
mean, you got to get the 13th.
Dear Lord, bless
don't-
the less fortunate this holiday season.
Got to have
You
so many
know.
streaming apps.
There's some people out there right now who can't watch ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Turns out one of them's in our circle.
Yeah.
We let them down.
And here's the thing, I'm not gonna get it.
No, you're going to continue to get secondhand news and
Don't care.
You're like,
I mean,
looks like I'm not watching that game then.
That's what it is.
I will just watch the original game.
You've lost me.
Yes.
If it's not one of the 8 things I already subscribed to.
Not subscribing to a new
there's
one.
it's all back to should have just had GD cable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I knew they'd do this. It started out like this, pretty
it,
sweet.
it was nice, and it was like, okay, and now they're, nope.
Well,
We're going to get our money one way or another.
there's only one way to bang a hooker, and they tried to teach us another, so that didn't work out.
There's got to be a few different.
I
I
don't
don't know.
it's
I'm very inexperienced in that area.
Probably will definitely
Here's
burn
how-
when you pee after
It's
that.
yeah, but it's just a money, right?
Okay.
And so that's
Transaction from
Right.
a transactional standpoint.
yeah.
Of course.
Not like, 2 dragons. No, I'm not talking
All
about
right, I took that way too far.
Yeah, you did. I'm just talking about from a transactional standpoint.
Okay, I got you.
clear.
Yeah. Yep. But I'm not getting it. And I'm somebody who watches a ton of sports I do 2 fantasy football podcasts. I'm in 6 different leagues. I love football, but I'm not getting ESPN Plus just to watch the occasional Monday night football.
You like balls in general, so that surprises me.
I'm a big sports guy.
Yeah. So
big
I
sports guy.
have to have it. Not that this is like an infomercial for ESPN Plus, but I have to have it because I am a diehard UFC fan.
Yeah, see, I'm not. If I were, I would have it.
Makes sense
Yeah, it would
because
make
it's
sense.
like every Saturday you get a good hookup.
Yeah.
And I watch all the Ultimate Fighter, Dana White's Contender Series, but that's for another show coming up called the UFC Podcast for Real.
Yeah, that one? It's in the works. But anyhow, I was sad and upset I didn't get to watch any of that game. But
at least you got to watch one game.
I was just going to say, not sad enough.
Yeah, not sad enough to
God,
actually
you
pay
made me
for
feel
it.
like a dad. Well, obviously you're not hungry enough.
If
That's
you're
what you're
hungry,
eating.
you eat.
Yeah, we got McDonald's at home.
Hungry dog will eat
And
anything.
he watched, I think, the more entertaining game anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ronnie.
Yeah, there it is. It's like 2 weeks in a row with references to Run, Ronnie, Run.
You guys like obscure, you're in the right spot. Obviously you do, because there are mainstream fantasy football podcasts, and here you are.
Yeah, we are not mainstream. But you can find us if you do a search on podcast platforms.
That's dope.
If you look up Fantasy Football for Real, we pop up.
Like a boner.
Just like one. Yep. Pop up unexpectedly sometimes.
Hey, the timing on this one.
Where'd this come from?
Man.
Yeah, well, we do that. All right.
For real.
No buys this week. Yeah, for real, we do that. Every single team is playing this week.
Every team is by this week. I'm like, freaky.
All right. I mean, we're veering.
Yeah, we are. Things got real weird today.
Real sexual, real quick. No bye weeks. Every team is playing. So
That's cool.
Yeah, when I looked at my roster, it made me sad. Because,
You didn't have, there's help wasn't on the way.
Yeah. Well, so many things happened, man. Ayuk out for the season.
Man, I told you he was just poo.
Dude, he tore his ACL and MCL.
And,
that has nothing to do with.
No, listen. When he was perfectly healthy, poo. Guess what he is now that he can't even prove himself.
He's injured.
He's for sure shit for your team.
Well, yeah, he's
You
nothing
know what I
for
mean?
my team.
So there you go. I don't care how it happened. He's poo. I told you. This just solidifies it for sure that you can't even have a comeback because you're like, well, by week 9 he should be in a wheelchair. Still.
Yeah, he's done until next season, so he's out. That makes some of your lineup questions easier. Like, should I start Brandon Ayuk or
Rashad Bateman?
Yeah,
And the will always be the answer right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's whoever. Mike Evans went out.
Man,
That was awesome.
that made me not want to run fast ever again. Do you see how bad that hurt? He got shot.
Dude, yeah.
like
he
you
looked
had
like
a
Ricky,
choice.
man. He looked like Ricky out there. Like,
No. I mean, I'm not. So that worked out.
If it weren't for Mike Evans' injury, Dan would be running real fast.
I was just about to run fast until I saw, I'm like, honey, see? There you go.
That's why
I don't.
Dude, it looked reverse Ace Ventura when nature calls, when he throws the spears in his leg and he's like, Mike, reverse. Oh.
But good news for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Chris Godwin also out.
Good news.
Yeah. Number 1 receiver in fantasy football.
Was.
Still is right now.
Currently.
Or no. Jamar Chase took him
Chase.
over.
Yeah.
Was.
Godwin's down.
I don't think Godwin's going to catch him.
Definitely not catching anybody.
He's not catching anybody.
Not catching anybody.
You start Ayuk and you start Godwin and see who gets
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
first.
I think we know how that story
Yeah.
is.
You guys like donuts?
Yeah.
No, I do, but it's too sweet. Like in the morning, a donut will kind of upset my tummy.
Yeah, I can see that with you.
Yeah, to me, I feel like a donut should be more of like an after dinner
He's getting fucking old, man.
delicacy. Yeah, it's true. We are.
It upsets
I'm
my
almost
tummy.
your guys' age now.
Getting there, man. Getting there.
What a low
We're
blow.
wiser. We're just wiser. It's okay. More life experience we've had.
Yeah, that helps in fantasy.
And then the other injury of note, one of the other ones, and it's only of note because, this guy's a piece of shit, and we had him. Deshaun Watson.
Oh my god!
We talked last week about how karma's a real thing.
And it grabbed him
And
by the leg. And
Karma was like, "Oh, you You think you know. Wait a minute. Watch this.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. So Deshaun Watson snapped his Achilles. He's out for the season. There are fantasy implications, though.
Yeah, now the offense can get better.
Because Jameis Winston is stepping in.
Yes.
I mean, there's going to be some picks. But there's going to be some
definitely going to be some picks. Lots of picks.
And there's going to be some cool quotes.
Oh,
yes.
God, dude, he's the best. He has the absolute best sound bites ever.
Yeah, he's good.
I think this is going to be huge for David Njoku. I think
like
he's
that.
going to be a monster moving
I like that
forward.
talk.
Definitely. I mean, he had a good game last week.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think he will continue. I think moving forward, he's like an every week startable tight end. That's my prediction. Because I think Jameis
is he good enough to wheel out as a flex? I know we despise tight ends. Is he starting to work into that conversation where you're like, doesn't matter, he's a tight end, he's a safe flex, or is he just your X factor at tight end? You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference.
He could. I think you got to see what happens this week.
Because right now Brock Bowers has moved into the
absolutely
flex spot.
Yeah. Brock. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
Brock Bowers.
Usually we've had like Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews in years past where you're like, oh, and Gronk, where you're like, bro, they're like wide receiver ones, not just tight end ones. You know?
Yeah, and that's where Brock is at. That's where Sam Laporta was last year, where he was just everything, and then right now, not as much.
So just like an American, I need you to tell me in miles. I need you in fantasy lingo to tell me, okay, what are the approximate values of the tight ends like Njoku? Are they wide receiver twos? Are they wide receiver ones? Do you look at it? You know what I mean? Like, the tight end model's thrown out the window. I now look at them as wide receivers.
Sure.
Where do they rank in your mind, like Njoku going forward?
So he is frame of reference. I always bring up Fantasy Pros because it
pretty reliable.
It's
a good reference.
Yeah, it's a good frame of reference, and
often.
you can see where and they pool a bunch of different rankings together to give you this. And so David Njoku, they have it in flex PPR rankings, which is another cool thing that you can do. It's just go to flex. You don't have to do tight ends, or you can, and it's got running backs, tight ends, wide receivers all in one, and it has Njoku at number 59. So right behind guys like Tank Dell, Tank Bigsby, a couple of tanks, Trey McBride, Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, just ahead of like Evan Ingram, another tight end, and Xavier Worthy and Jordan Addison and Bucky Irving and Ramondre Stevenson. It's got them kind of in that range.
So it's literally in the flex, what we would say.
Yeah, in the flex range.
The flex range.
Yeah.
It's working, Njoku. You're flexing.
Yeah, dude, I'd be so down to flex Njoku. They have him at number 6 in the tight end rankings.
There you have it.
Yep, just ahead of Tucker Kraft.
And that's really how I like to gauge tight ends, unless I'm forced to.
Which they have Evan Ingram at number 5, but in the flex, they had him right below Njoku.
Yeah, that's correct. Evan Ingram is number 5 in tight end rankings, but one spot ahead of Njoku, but then one spot behind.
In flex. So they're right neck and neck. Basically.
If anyone from Fantasy Pros wants to call us and defend yourself, feel free.
Yeah.
Because that makes no sense, Fantasy Pros. Get your shit together.
They have
Do you have something spicy for breakfast? You're on fire.
It's been a day, all right? I've had a day, and I'm just letting it. It's got to.
Do you work in HR or something, bro?
He dropped an F-bomb like 13 seconds into the broadcast.
Did he?
I was like, yeah.
I'm just used to it. He's a heater off air, but on air, he's a little more,
Yeah, a little more reserved.
Yeah.
Well, it's also
You gonna
used to be
another
on the radio, so I have to
finally
watch
shaking-
everything, and I don't have to right now.
So you're finally shaking loose from those real restrictive AM handcuffs that you were subjected to.
Yes.
Happens, buddy.
It's different, man. It's you get used to doing something some way for so long.
Imagine me
It's not
on
going
the
to be
radio.
like, hey, muting. Hey, you can't say that. Watch that.
Yeah, we don't have a dump button here.
Yeah. Be like, just
yeah.
say it. Just don't,
we do
all
for
the
players
time
that
say it,
suck.
but they can slip. Make them mean something.
Another thing worth noting in Cleveland is Nick Chubb returned and got 10.1
and didn't have
points
any
PPR.
setbacks.
Right.
He spun into the end zone. It was like he got hit. He got tackled. It was like, okay, he played. Now, did he look great or anything? No, but
The whole Browns offense.
he was there. Like he played. He will get better, but he was out there.
And he got you double-digit fantasy points in PPR his first week back after a gruesome injury. So his
got the
usage
end zone.
rate is going to go up. You know, he's going to become more productive. But that's good news for people who have Nick Chubb. So congratulations on getting him back. Must be nice. But I've got.
I'm clapping for Nick.
I've got too much stuff loaded in here.
No.
I've got my real estate one, and because I just came from a different podcast. I've just been podcasting all day today.
It's a pod. He is a mover and shaker. Isn't he?
Crayons, your
Fucking
just
cool.
absolute favorite player in the history of football.
Yep.
Jamison Williams.
No, that's false. It's Junior Seau, and then
Wait, that's correct. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I know.
then
I
it
was
goes
being,
from there.
Yeah,
I
just being hyperbolic.
I can't let you do that.
Yeah.
I can't let that slide.
Jameson going out.
You know, but he didn't get hurt or anything.
Nah,
Let's
dude,
see.
he's
Typical
just
character guy you
taking
like.
some peds, man. He's trying to get faster. All right,
Right in line with the kind of guy you are, the kind of players you like in fantasy. And
Yeah.
that tells a lot about
guys
you.
that take roids.
Yep. So
Yeah, I mean he's like $165 soaking wet or something, you know. So
I remember
No,
you
he's
in
about
your early
$180.
20s. You were a little cut. Something smelt off. You look like Steve Nash took a bath in some roids.
yeah, dude, you were hitting up that stacker too. I remember.
Oh yeah, something like, I forget what it was, but
Breaking
it was,
it out of the capsule. One of those guys.
Oh yeah, I put in the work too.
Yeah, that too. But
You're a
mostly it was
big
that
Antonio
stacker.
Brown guy too. I know. So that's just the character guy.
James Williams, 180 pounds.
Yeah, I was joking once.
So-
that's Tank Dell, Xavier Worthy. You're
Xavier
like,
Worthy.
So far, Jameson has done what since he got to the NFL? He's bet on the NFL and got suspended, and now
yes, and he came back,
performance
and now he's taking peds because he can't gamble. on
taking
the NFL.
pets. I love it. What up?
Had a good game
Performance
week one.
enhancing.
Everybody thought he was the,
He had multiple good weeks. He's had two bad ones.
I've
One was last week, and
This
then
is
one
what
was
you
a couple
get.
weeks before that.
I'm glad this happened to you about him because
agree.
I've tried to snake him from you, and you're not having it.
No, not having.
You're a real-
I got him in every league, and I'm holding
Some
on to him.
dudes are just like you won't trade him because you're stuck.
That's
in
your
way.
guy.
Yeah,
That's
you're
your
like-
guy. You're like,
I'm like everyone's for sale, bro. Everyone's for
Oh,
sale.
sure. Yeah.
well, it
pass up a
depends.
business deal 'cause
People
you
will be
got
like, "Well, I'm trying to
R9.
make you a fair offer," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not selling them for a fair offer. You
No,
have to overpay for
I'm
this.
going to need to
player."
win.
or yes, I need to completely win, or no.
it's got to significantly improve. I don't need to win, but it's got to improve my current situation.
yes.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
if you had to go to
If
the
it-
grocery store and dudes like us were up at the cash register and we're like, all our pricing systems based off my fantasy beliefs. So
Yeah.
you want milk for your kids? I'm going to need to see something besides cash. I want to trade.
Yeah.
I got, I'll give you market value. No,
No,
I'm
no,
looking to really
yes.
rake you over the coals
Yeah.
for this
Yes.
product.
I'm getting a little low on ground beef at the house. You got some burger you can give me or what? Yeah.
No, I can't. No.
I'm sorry,
Price
pal.
gouging. I am going to be price gouging.
God, that's what you get.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm celebrating not only his gain in muscle mass, but your loss of your little
Appreciate
precious
that.
player.
Appreciate that.
Some more big news that just happened. DeAndre Hopkins on his way to the Kansas City Chiefs. It's finalized. If you look now,
Yes, it's
DeAndre
done.
Hopkins. He is officially.
Man,
A
that
Chief.
feels like Paul
Chief.
Pierce and Kevin Garnett going to the Nets.
Ooh,
Remember how awesome that was?
Nah,
Anything can
yeah.
happen, except for winning a shit ton of
Oh,
games.
yeah.
I thought that was a horrible move by the Nets, personally.
Yeah.
Because you bought a dream that had already happened, and they're old and aging. You gave up everything. That's why they sucked, and you'll see it with the Clippers right now too. From their
Look at
moves that
us.
they did. Yeah,
Look at us go.
know
NBA started
sports.
last night.
we know sports. Mm-hmm. But that was huge. Smart move by the Chiefs to be able to get Hopkins to be able to go there. Obviously, it's going to help his value a little bit. He's going to have some games, but Mahomes only throws so much anyway. So it's not like
He's just
it's
truck
not like
sticking
he's
dudes.
it's not like he's has Tyreek and he's just going to be chucking. I mean, Pat Mahomes is what, like 17th at quarterbacks or something.
He's
ranking?
so bad in fantasy rankings.
I mean, it's been so bad for the past couple years, but it's the name and they're undefeated.
Yeah.
So that's all that matters. They're winning. That's all they want to win.
Nothing worse than an undefeated team that doesn't score a lot of points to really trick you and piss you off
Yeah.
in fantasy.
and that happens.
Because you're looking at you do not like I do not recommend any Chiefs players. They're not any must starts.
Do you remember?
No, I'm going to disagree.
Who?
I'm gonna give you a quick disagreement on that.
Respectfully or
Definitely-
disrespectfully?
We'll see how this
Let's
goes.
go. All right.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
I'm
All right.
Kareem Hunt.
Kinda,
have to start.
You kind of do, but I don't feel like it's. I feel like if you had to put him at flex and you were trying to dispute between a guy, I could see him losing that, but I could also see him being
He's a solid
invited to that
RB2
argument.
right now.
I will tell you because
Solid low-end RB1, RB2 at the time, just because that's what they do with that offense right now.
I have him on my list somewhere, but I've got a long list.
We can circle back.
Yeah, we can circle back, but Kareem Hunt,
Put a little bookmark in that.
I believe is, if you go by average points per game since he's
Taking the jib.
since he's taken the jib, Kansas City, he's number 10 in fantasy
Well,
for running
me
backs, full point
sideways.
PPR.
And it's not like that he's done anything and that he's looked amazing. He's just getting the opportunities and they score.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good, man. I was watching that Niners game last week, just full of rage and fury, and he's just peeling off runs, and that's not an easy team to run on, and he's just...
They are now, but just saying.
So I don't listen.
yeah, live in the now.
Rage and
I
fury.
mean, before they weren't. But
We broke up.
But let's circle this back to DeAndre Hopkins real quick, and then we can get to the other stuff. But
He catches a touchdown, goes for 60 yards, trade him ASAP for anything.
he's got one game this season,
double digits.
double digits.
Oh, he's absolutely washed.
Yeah, he is certainly washed. However,
It'll help them in real football.
yeah, and it will. I think he will get a boost in fantasy as well because
Oh, yeah. Well,
Patrick
he's worth
Mahomes-
shit now.
Patrick Mahomes throwing you the football compared to
Gives you-
Will Levis throwing you the football is a good thing, and I think it helps Patrick Mahomes a little bit too, because DeAndre Hopkins is. I mean, he's older.
He's got hands though.
Yes, dude, he can
He
catch.
catches. He doesn't have
course.
those young guys out there who
He's
aren't.
going to
catching.
have situational moments in football games and touchdowns in the red zone and on third down where they need him. But your fantasy team, he is going to do stuff to him you don't want.
So asking for a friend,
Near their.
asking for a friend. I got.
So am I.
I've
It's
got
friend's
a.
butt.
I've got a flex spot. Would you start DeAndre Hopkins or Tyrone Tracy?
Hopkins.
Yeah, there we go.
Man, I'm not answering. I'm pleading the fifth.
That's
on
the
that
reality of my friend's life right now.
One. Man, listen, that friend's got
Friend's life
shitty questions.
That's a new segment, Dan, that we're going to sprinkle in throughout the show.
I get it. I heard it
Asking for a
earlier. I'm
friend,
just telling you that was a shit
Yeah.
point to jump off
No,
on.
my
Old-
friend's a good dude, but he's just having a real tough
old
time.
Dick
with this.
Tracy. Yeah.
He's a good dude, though, but man,
He's a real SOB for that question.
I'm just having a.
Should I have Dick Tracy or friggin' what was it, Flat Top?
Yeah, boy, throwback. Old Breathless Mahoney.
So that's what I got out of that question. Tracy.
Real dangerous times back then. Speaking,
Which fun fact that I had read. Well, I think it's a fact.
just wrecked my transition, but go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you say it, and then I'll make
I'm
my.
just gonna add it in there. Warren Beatty was the one who played Dick Tracy, right?
Right, yeah.
Or did I say it wrong? Because I always run.
No,
names.
you said it great.
I actually got it right. But I guess he owns the rights to Dick Tracy,
Probably.
so he had to until a certain time. So he has to put out these little shitty cartoons or something that nobody sees on YouTube. Was part of the agreement, so nobody even knows. But that's why there's never been anything else of Dick Tracy
Because
it would come back out, and I think you could. Those are a lot of characters in there that people would see.
Yeah.
They remake everything now, so you how come Dick Tracy hasn't been remade?
Because of Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah,
because
because
of-
Tyrone.
So that was it. Fun fact. There you go.
Super fun.
Dangerous times back then. Speaking of dangerous.
I could go for a sandwich.
See what I did? Big Russ, dude.
Tried to warn you guys about the Russ witch.
takes over in Pittsburgh and immediately sets a franchise record. Did you guys see that?
No,
Most passing yards
in a debut.
in a debut for a Pittsburgh Steeler ever.
I mean,
At 270.
Traditionally-
it wasn't that impressive.
really wasn't,
no,
dude.
but they've in their they get new QBs and they're still hand it off.
Yeah, I mean, they celebrate Terry Bradshaw as a good quarterback.
And he was good. He just
No, he
wasn't.
wasn't.
Yeah, he was good. He wasn't dynamic by today's standard stats. Those are some
He won
plus
Super
numbers.
Bowls, but he was like the Patrick Mahomes of his time. He won Super Bowls, but his stats were garbage.
Well, Pat's stats used to be scary, dude. Yeah. He used to be a threat and fan. He was like a 50 burger kind of guy.
He was
But those days are
a top pick.
They're down now. Someday they'll be back. They need to reset the roster, get Kelsey off the books.
Good defense. Running the ball strong is what they've been doing, and just doing enough to win. And it isn't before it was Tyreek though. I mean, he had Tyreek, and it just shows what Cheetah can do.
Big Russ, 16 of 29, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, best debut in the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ran one in too.
But a good fantasy week, no doubt, and he looked good.
He looked horrible the first half.
Tiny wiener convention. That's what he got. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Good for George Pickens. Is actually targeted like a receiver.
Mm-hmm. And all those passes were 50-50 balls.
Had a pretty good week, though.
That should be a high percentage look the rest of the years. Trade Russ, Pickens. If anyone will sniff anything from you with the Steelers, get rid of them. That is not sustainable. Russ will let you down. It's just the first date.
50-50 balls is pretty accurate. 9 targets, 5 catches.
Yeah.
111 yards.
Well, and I watched the game, and all I was seeing, like every time he threw it, he's like, fuck it. Every time he'd step back, he's like, 1, 2, 3.
Say it. Do it.
Fuck it.
But he would. You saw him bobble that one.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is one of the greatest catches. And I'm like, actually, he should have had that in the beginning. That was almost
the three-tapper where
it was almost a terrible non-catch.
Yeah, it was a shit show that pulled off. No one got hurt, and they got lucky.
That's what George Pickens is, though. He's a just throw the ball up guy.
Yeah.
And he makes,
and it worked.
Yeah. And it's
but it's like
it worked 5 out of 9 times it worked.
Yes.
But they won the game convincingly.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah, again. So, Danger Russ.
His sandwich looked good. You see that pic I sent you, boys?
Mm-hmm. Back on the field. Speaking of back on the field, tomorrow night, Cooper Kupp makes his return.
Should be back.
Did you guys see that?
Is he getting twaded or is he staying?
I don't know. They've been talking about twading him.
I keep hearing twade.
It's weird. This literally just hit like while I was setting up here in the basement. It came across the wire. He is expected to play tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's why he didn't play this past week because they wanted to wait until Thursday. They don't know how much he's going to play, but
yeah, and you know what that means? He's either going all the way the fuck off, or he's absolutely shitting the bed.
3 for 35, and
worse. It's like 1 for 11. If you're like on 2 targets, he's so tired.
That is,
they're playing Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, gout.
Minnesota, obviously, really good team. I'm good. No, I'm fine. I just choked on air.
That was a speed bump, bro. Keep your head on the swivel.
I'm here. But Minnesota is one of the worst teams in the league. Against the
receivers.
Until you added that last part of your statement had some holes in it.
Yes.
Your Honor.
Yes.
They're a really good team. However, they're a really bad team.
I mean, they're winning games,
at
but
the run.
But teams are throwing the ball. On them like crazy. So,
but also that's because they've been winning, and teams have had to been throwing the ball against them because they till last week were undefeated.
Hell.
So they we can't run. We have to ditch that because we're losing. So we have to start throwing the ball. So fantasy wise, you saw that they suck because they give up a lot of points to receivers.
Are you excited to just get Cooper Kupp back in your lineup? Fantasy Pros has him at number 9 already.
Jesus.
If I had any stock in him, then yes.
Well, every receiver is hurt, so there's Cooper Kupp at number 9, Darnell Mooney at number 8.
I mean, is Tyreek Hill going to come back this week and be wide receiver 1 again because 2 is back? You know, shit.
Jerry Jeudy, number 7.
Jerry Judy's not at number 7. Turn that website off.
He's got Jameis Winston now.
Turn that fucking website off. 7? No. I put that prick in my lineup twice in a 12-man
They've got Hopkins at 11.
He's a dick sucker.
Bateman at 5. All this was incorrect.
Yeah.
I'm lying about all of it except Cooper Kupp at 9. That part's real. They do have Cooper
Bateman
Kupp
at 5. I'm fine.
Yeah, I know you are. You didn't.
I didn't flinch. I'm like, keep reading.
You
didn't object.
Judy, motherfucking Judy. Shit.
Bateman is number 53 in wide receiver rankings.
I mean, that's value.
It is because you know what?
He's got you a dub this week.
You know what
The
number
itch
he
I
is
started
on
him.
the season
Not
for
good, but
for. Take a guess. If you're going
29.
if you're going average points per game, for receivers who actually play,
Yeah,
right,
29.
not like one good game.
Give me
That's pretty good. Eric Kranz,
37.
Dan wins. Number 25,
Suck it.
Rashad Bateman.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I rewind the tape from week 1. I was like, hey, fucking sleeper this year.
After a 22.1
Yes.
point performance.
What was he before that week?
I'm done. I don't have that
30,
kind of.
43.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, but still,
his,
But
his
he's-
flag was flying at full mass, so the staff was proper.
he has definitely been better this year than what he has been. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a former number 1 overall pick, first round pick. So he should.
He's one of those late bloomers that used to occur.
Zay Flowers went down, so that's where Lamar Jackson started chucking the ball to him.
Jesus Christ, don't you just say it like that.
yeah,
That's how it happened.
All three of y'all.
you're discrediting Rashad Bateman.
From a talent standpoint and from a man standpoint.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a man.
that's what I'm doing.
That's a grown one, too.
Before last
You're
week,
going to have a jersey on you that says Bateman on the back before the end of the year. Mark it down.
he was double
Jason
digits. Oh, Jason Bateman's.
That's what I mean. I'm
Really
a fan
good.
of
I
Jason
would wear
Bateman.
the shit out of a
good.
Jason
Jason
Bateman
Bateman
jersey.
Yeah. Before last week, he was 3 out of 6 games in double digits. So 50% of the time he's double digits, and
Sounds like
not by a lot.
60% of the time it works all
Yeah,
the time.
every
so
time.
Yeah.
Get his ass in
It's like
there.
11, 13. But it's not been terrible.
Hey, you could do worse than like a bigger, deeper league, like a 12, 16-man leagues. Those exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a gold. That's gold in those deeper leagues. Like I don't know what
dude.
else you want from a guy who's
No,
like,
you take those 11.8 from your flex spot for
especially
sure.
with the way the position, just how football is in general
Stupid.
this season.
Football's stupid.
Dudes are.
It's every year, though.
It's weird
We
that
get to every year, we'll talk about, like, I can't believe this year there's so many injuries. And it's like, oh, that was last year and the year before and the year before. It's just when it hits your team and there's so many of your players,
No,
then you're like, this is
it's
ridiculous.
the year you're living in hurts the most. So
It's
this year's
true.
the worst.
it's weird that the same season. Let me try to think that like we're two guys have become relevant, J.K. Dobbins and Rashad Bateman, that we've talked about multiple times on a fantasy show as being guys you can start instead of. And I feel like they kind of came in around the same time in Baltimore,
Yep.
and they both had a lot of
Yes.
expectations, and they didn't live up to them, and they were forgotten about. And now this season, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I could maybe get those guys in my lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, Rashad
JK,
Bateman,
dude.
number 25.
Another
Cross
one
that
of-
off my list.
Another one of my darlings.
Two guys made their debuts last week on new teams: Amari Cooper
Yeah, boy.
in Buffalo, and Devontae Adams as a New York Football Jet.
That one.
Amari Cooper, 4 catches for 66 and a touchdown.
Loved it.
Yeah, a good showing.
Starting them next week. Hell.
Should be, and every week moving forward.
Oh, absolutely.
Keon Coleman had a better game though.
That's what I'm saying, which opened it up for him to be able to do, I think.
Yeah. So Keon Coleman, I think, is worthy of a flex look moving forward. Still, rookie receivers are the consistency.
You just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know.
There has been 2 that have been really good.
Ever?
No, this year.
Oh,
Malik Neighbors
Malik Neighbors, yeah.
and Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah. Yep. Not Brian Thompson, who's our old homie from back in the day.
Yeah, he's no junior.
Yeah. Nope.
Seen you whoop as senior, but I never.
Devontae Adams, not so much. I mean, it was the big news. Amari Cooper was kind of like, oh, that also happened. But look at this. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers together again. Super Bowl. Here we come. 3 catches for 30 yards.
I think it just confirms that Rodgers is washed up.
The Jets are 2-5 right now. Last year, Zach Wilson, they were 4-3 at this time. Just gonna
Say it with your chest.
put that out.
Just don't say it with your wang.
But
No, it'd be weird. The mic won't pick that up.
If it could talk, I'd
Yeah.
watch one thing. I wouldn't like it, but I'd have to just see that little mouth.
Like,
Big Dan,
let me tell you something. You'd be like, whoa.
appreciate the opportunity.
sup, Big Eric Dan? I'd be like, whoa. Let me look you in your eyes.
So I don't know how to get back into normal talking.
You're welcome.
But moving forward, if you have Devontae Adams, how freaked out are you that, oh, wait a minute, this isn't going to work?
Not freaked out.
Good.
Still be putting him in the lineup.
I mean, I am too, but I'm freaking out.
Yeah, I'm freaked out too, dude. I don't have him, but I'm a little bit freaked out.
Freaking out, man. Yeah, I thought the schnozberries would taste a little bit more like schnozberries, but they're not so
You
far.
are freaking out.
Yeah, I told you. Freaking out.
Man.
Candy bars.
All right. I mean, you still got to, if you have them, you still have to.
Wheel them out
yeah,
there.
You still have to.
Just like Aaron Rodgers.
No doubt
by the
about
end of
it.
the year, just wheeling.
All right. Let's, a couple of guys to talk about who play, Eric Krantz, for your team. Chicago Bears. DeAndre Swift is the number 16 fantasy running back right now in average points per game.
Startable.
I would say. I
Yeah.
would say that's RB2 territory.
Hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Past few games is when he's really turned it on.
Yeah.
They're like 20 plus a game.
Yes. And that has coincided with Caleb Williams,
Looking real good.
who's also looked really good in the last few games. So he is the current number 13 quarterback in fantasy.
Going against not tough defenses, but that's not his fault. All you have to do is go out there and execute against the teams that you're supposed to.
I don't think they have many tough defenses coming up on their schedule either, right? So
They're in the best division in football right now. So
It's got you Bears fans
they have-
walking
they have
around
all
on
those,
your two legs all cocky.
the Bears are in last place in their division right now. They're 4-2.
Suck.
they've got Washington this week, which is a good team, but not great against the pass. Arizona after that, bad against the pass. New England, bad team, but good against the pass. Then Green Bay, who's good. But then Minnesota, who we've already talked about.
I mean, they could win them all, lose them all, and 500
Yeah.
that schedule. I know that's all the choices, literally, but
Sure.
that's
But-
literally what you don't know. You just don't know.
It's promising for Caleb Williams to be able to have a productive fantasy season.
Yes.
So he's 13 right now, but that's
Years old? That's really good.
he's a lot closer to 13 years old than he is to our age.
That's crazy. Yeah, he is by a long
So
time.
much.
But
So
think
much
about
closer.
that. He's already done with college and in the pros. 13. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's like Doogie Howser in football.
Yeah. Cool.
All the references to
Sick.
things. Yeah.
Way to age us.
Yeah. Yeah, that was me that did that.
Yeah.
Old fart.
Dick Tracy, that was me.
Yeah, no, did I bring that up? Holy shit. It was like a 1950s comic book before it was a damn movie,
Yeah. But Caleb Williams is currently right now ahead of Dak Prescott, ahead of Kirk Cousins,
How dare you?
the aforementioned Aaron Rodgers,
Oh, yeah.
best player of all time, Patrick Mahomes,
Man, who saw that? That's just
right?
wild.
But here's one that's wild. A guy who was drafted to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback. Any guesses?
Anthony Richardson.
No, definitely ahead of Anthony Richardson.
Chim Richaldson.
It is Chim. You nailed it, dude. It was Chim Richaldson. Good job.
Got it.
Do you have a guess though, Eric? In case that's not Chim Richardson's not
Kids,
the
you
right
gotta back
answer?
That would have been my guess.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Somebody who would have who's supposed
He's
to be
supposed to be. He's drafted top 5 QB.
drafted a top 5 QB, and it's not
He's
Jiminy Richardson.
No.
That was sick.
It was him too, but there's another guy. That's what I'm
Jiminy
saying.
Richardson.
Yeah, there's one more guy.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys
I
suck
can't
at
think.
guessing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
dude.
It's
Like,
CJ Stroud.
okay, well, fuck.
okay.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I would have been.
I
here all
didn't
day,
think that
dude.
CJ Stroud would have been
I thought
a
maybe
top 5 fantasy
See, and
quarterback.
I
Going
had
into
him
the season,
I had him
he was drafted
6.
top 5.
I had him 6 on my board. So
Okay, that's I see where the
See?
disconnect
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I had like 7.
I would've
So,
never- I
not
was
top
getting ready to
5.
be like Josh Allen, Lamar, but you didn't. I
Yeah,
suck. So
of course.
we're-
Chim Richardson.
That was a solid second guess.
Jiminy Richardson.
Jimmy Richardson and Chim Richardson.
Yeah, but I might.
Two
I
separate
don't,
quarterbacks.
I don't know if the title of this show is going to be "Sometimes It Burns When You Pee." It might be Chim Richaldson.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, old
Sometimes it burns when you pee. Ask Chim Richaldson.
Yeah, quote Chim Richardson happening in
Oh,
quotes.
quotes.
Yeah.
Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chim Richardson.
Chim
Michael
Richardson.
Scott.
Oh God, I love it. All right. Yeah, CJ Stroud, guys, number 16 in fantasy right now, which is, I mean, you talk about Patrick Mahomes being bad, but
Just a DS or
CJ Stroud hasn't really been startable either.
No.
Breaks my Ohio State heart.
It breaks a lot of hearts.
I'm wearing just Ohio State shit too.
The person who's been the superstar who just lost his 2 guys, which Baker Mayfield.
That hurts.
Yes.
I mean, he's the number 2 behind Lamar Jackson's quarterback.
Do you wish you sold him to me?
No.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I'll still hold on to him.
I bet because you got no choice now. But I bet you.
I'll still hold on. I mean,
I was paying up for when he had Godwin and Edmonds. I was like, oh,
yeah,
come here. One game, like spread that out.
He only trails Lamar Jackson, and in our scoring format,
he'll be trailing a lot more quarterbacks coming up.
It's only by 0.4 points per game, and Lamar Jackson's been electric.
yes.
And will continue to be. Baker Mayfield will not.
Yeah, so Baker's tough roads ahead, no doubt.
Get back to that Carolina roots.
But as always, you would think guys have to step up. There's going to have to be receivers or running backs or tight ends. Cade Otton stepped up, had a lot of catches. Your boy, your running back,
My guy?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It just tempers. It's got to
lots of I mean, but that offense is still. They're going to find a way, and I think Baker will find a way. We just don't know exactly who it's going to be.
True,
so
but
everybody
it's
was
not going to
grabbing.
be number 1 QB.
No.
Tough, dude. If you don't have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans to throw the ball to, that's a
and the
not
biggest
must
one I think really is Mike Evans for that offense.
Yeah.
He stretches it so much.
the whole offense is going to have to change. So
for the
we'll
next
see.
few games until the bye, so it could be a big run heavy. I don't know. It's curious to see what they do. But losing those 2 guys,
They've got a week 11 bye, I think, and they're expecting Evans back after that. So
3 weeks of no Evans, and they have a bye, so they won't put him on IR.
that's 4 by my account then, right?
Yeah, basically,
That's,
basically 4 weeks before he comes back.
yeah.
That's huge. That's a month.
That is
a month.
it's a long month.
And hamstrings don't follow the calendar. So easily in 4 weeks, he could be reevaluated, and they're like, another 2 or week to week.
Or he
You're
comes
right.
out and he plays like
he
what they
rejects
did,
it.
like what happened. Like they should have rested him before. And they're like,
Plan
nope.
for other shit, and if you get Evans back at some point, bonus. You're lucky, but you're probably going down.
Somebody who is not going down, who is going up in value. How about that? Transition.
Nice. Radio guy.
Sexual.
Mark Andrews,
That a baby, Mark.
3 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
Get you some.
All of a sudden, Mark Andrews is back. So hopefully you capitalized on that when, earlier in the season when everybody was like, he's the worst and he's done. Isaiah Likely's the best. Hopefully if you had Likely, you were able to move him for a better piece. And you went and got you some Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews
at a low
touchdowns.
price.
He's been touchdowns. He hasn't been getting the points that he did before. It's not 8, 10. I mean, he was getting a lot of catches before also. So he's getting 4 to 5 targets. He's just catching touchdowns.
Yeah. And, they were – the problem is Rashad Bateman's catching all the targets.
Yeah. He's a PPR monster.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, Andrews the last 3 weeks, 5 targets, 4 targets, 4 targets. It's not what it used to be.
No.
But-
So it's not 10, 11.
Hey, what is? What
Nothing.
is,
Yeah.
fella?
Oh, man. I tell you what.
Hell.
Back.
I used to run the ball in my day.
But what they are doing is Baltimore is going to get into the red zone a lot.
Yeah.
And if they're looking for Mark Andrews in the end zone, then
He can catch it.
yeah. So if you're chasing touchdowns, fine. I think you're going to get them.
It's fair.
Yeah. Cross that off my list. Somebody who has sucked lately. You ready for this?
Usually I like a good.
Yeah, I wouldn't say maybe sucked is strong. Somebody who's
Disappointed?
a little bit.
A little disappointed.
Started off real strong and then kind of fell back to earth and then is just not looking. But Alvin Kamara,
Yeah, Peter, man. He petered up.
8.4 last week.
Well, he got a big paycheck for that.
Dude, yeah, he did. He's dinged and banged.
Well, that whole team
He's
is
29. Yeah, go. My bad.
say the whole team is completely dinged and banged up.
Yeah.
Quarterback's out, 2 top wide receivers out. They're do it all, tight end, quarterback, running back, fullback, offensive lineman, whatever. Taysom Hill's out.
Water guy, he does it all.
Oh yeah, the water boy's out.
I prepped the water. Pass me the ball.
That's a big part of it. I mean, the team's in shambles, and he's an older running back anyway. And so the offense is not going to be as efficient. It's easy to just key in to stop Alvin Kamara.
Shut him down.
And, he 2 weeks ago, he scored, and he ended up with 17 fantasy points. Week before that, he, scratched out 12.6. But still, I think he started off with like 40. Everybody was like, oh.
He was fast as a Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, he was. Oh, man, I love a good Camaro. I see him driving down the road. I'm like,
oh, check that dude's Camaro out.
It looks like a 2019 Camaro.
What's that, an El Camino? No, an El Camaro.
So moving forward, I mean, obviously you're starting. It's nothing like that, but just know, hopefully you're getting those big points from other places on your roster, because I don't know if smoother days are ahead for old Camaro.
Nah, but Carr's supposed to be coming back.
He's doubtful this week.
What, the El Camaro?
Not yet. Yeah. He'll be coming back here. I mean, he'll be better for that
Eventually.
offense.
Remember Saints fans going into week 3 with their fucking chests out?
They're like, we're the best team in football right now. Because they're like, where did this come from?
I saw fans with bags over their head last week. That's how drastic it gets.
So a few matchups from this week to kind of touch on a little bit. Now, that's last week I felt like we kind of got spoiled. There were a lot of good games. This week, not so much.
No.
A lot of trash games.
They can turn into good games though.
Yeah, they might be, but it's not like
on paper. Yeah, on paper.
Yeah, like they could happen and be close and be exciting games to watch. But we're not getting like Vikings Lions this week. We're not getting Niners Chiefs.
Yeah, we don't have any marquee playoff like Super Bowl rematches.
I mean, you get Colts at Texans, 4-3 at 5-2. That's
supposed to be a banger, dude.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be Anthony Richardson still shredding.
No, I know, but I'm
Stroud
saying
MVP candidate, and it's not that.
It's not that. But
That's what I mean. Like some of these are like, damn, that week 1 that was supposed to be heat by now.
Yeah. But it's just it's not. I mean, you're looking at
God no
Eagles at Bengals.
That's heat.
I mean, right?
It's heat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying because I'm a homer, but you want to watch that offense with Jalen Hurts and those receivers and Joe Burrow. That's heat.
Bills at Seahawks.
That feels like
that should be a decent game.
But it's not. It's not sexy. It's reliable.
5-2 at 4-3. So two teams with winning records. I mean, that's kind of what you look for. Is
you
like
can count on them in a
teams.
pinch.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah, but the Seahawks, man, 4-3 are like the least
exciting.
Sexy.
4-3.
I mean, when you're like, but they got Geno Smith, you're like, yikes, guy. I said sexy.
Dude, I think Kenneth Walker's like the number 2 running back in fantasy right now.
Nothing's been on SportsCenter.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who
but
cares?
what about the story about Geno Smith being a 34-year-old journeyman? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Oh, nobody cares. Oh,
I hate it even more.
Seattle, huh? Who cares?
Oh.
You're stupid, Seattle. 4-3.
I can go to bat for a few grunge bands, but overall, yeah,
Sure.
you're right.
Yeah. No, they were awesome. Seattle was super cool in 92.
Mm-hmm. So we're flannel shirts.
Maybe let's see, record-wise, maybe the best game of the week, the 4-2 Bears at the 5-2 Commanders.
It just
maybe Jaden Daniels, maybe not.
It's so sexy, but on paper, you're like two fucking nothing franchises that have been just trash for years. I mean, Bears fans still throw the 85 championship right out in the forefront.
Best team ever.
Like, suck that dick.
Ever.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't want to suck that dick.
Jaden Daniels, he did not practice today.
He may not play this week. Like, it really may not be the number 1 and the number 2 overall.
I'm not trying to say I
suck.
called it, but I called some RG3 with this dude, and here he is on the sideline not playing football, and that's what RG3 was famous for when he wasn't impressing us with his.
But Marcus Mariota came out. They didn't even need him. He came out there and just was like, check it out, dude.
He's like, I'm back for the resurrection
for a couple games.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, him's ribs hurt, so him's not practicing. But
and if you're winning, you have a good record, and he's your franchise. You don't risk it.
No,
you know?
he's too
like
he's
dude.
too
I got a crack on my rib. Like, you got to come out there. This game is the whole season.
You don't want to hurt that baby back ribs he's got.
No, but if he does play though, and I mean, I hope he does.
I hope he does just for the 1 and the 2 picks.
I want to see that. Yeah.
On good teams, they both have winning records.
I got a little bit of that Terry, so I need some.
Yeah,
some of that.
Yeah, you got that McLovin on your team.
If not, it'll be a different old
Terry
number 2 overall pick, Marcus Mariota.
Dallas
with the former number 1 from that draft, Jameis Winston.
How about that?
Starting. How about that?
How about that? Wow.
Let's bring it back. Just old school. Back when we thought those two were the future of the NFL. Boy, that aged poorly.
Yes, it did.
The Sunday night game is the Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers, so it's a marquee matchup, but two teams who are seriously underperforming.
They have lots
this
of
season.
fans.
Both fan bases will allow both teams to S a D as long as they want, especially the Cowboys because they have been forever.
Oh, the Cowboys fans are the worst.
That's a terrible fan base.
Anyhow, my buddy Paul is a Cowboys fan. You remember Paul? You listen to us on the radio all the time, but he listens to our podcast every week. So sorry, buddy. You're good, but
Hey, my next door neighbor, cool dude.
yeah.
Cowboys fan, horseshit decision. You know what I mean?
I do.
I mean, we got Ryan in our league, great dude, Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
Sus
stupid.
decision.
Yeah.
Way to have that be
Way
your
to think it
choice.
through.
Mm-hmm.
The Monday night game's trash. You don't have to
Who
watch
is it?
It'll
Is
be
it
available.
Carolina and something.
It's not. It's
not that Germany thing.
It's your favorite quarterback, Danny Dimes, who got benched last week.
Because of the score. They don't want to hurt the franchise.
No, of course. You got to protect the franchise.
Because he couldn't put up any points.
No. It's so he doesn't get hurt so he can put up banger this week.
But he's on the road taking on your other favorite quarterback, Danger Russ.
Ooh, the witch taking on around Halloween, a danger witch.
Yep. So that's the Monday night game. Not too much. I mean, the Steelers are 5-2.
That's a bag of dicks from
is.
DoorDash right there. Like, ding dong. Here's some ding dongs.
Daniel Jones, 6 passing touchdowns on the year.
No, that meant to be over the last game or something.
Nope, that's in 7 games, 6 passing
So
touchdowns.
just shy of 1 a game. That's not bad.
Those came in 3 games. So he has 3 other games with.
Well, he's ran in like 7.
Nope, that's not true. He has 4 games with 0 passing touchdowns.
He ran in like 3 in each of those games. Though,
No,
right?
see. Here's the thing: is he has 0 rushing touchdowns on the season either.
So you're telling me that he only has 6
total touchdowns
through 7 games.
Correct.
Just like most artists, he won't be appreciated till long after his time. That's true. Grow up. He's a fucking man.
Grow up. Quit being such children.
Grow up's a classic, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. I like. It's such a great dig. Just grow
up.
Like,
I mean, we're all old as fuck, but
being
no, more.
childish here?
Grow up farther.
Maybe I'm
more.
being childish.
Get grown up.
All right. Do you guys have any asking for a friends that you want to get to? Because if not, you can think about it, and in the meantime, we can do this guy or, because I've got some this guy or questions.
Bring on some this guy or. I like some this guy or.
This guy or is always fun. So we talked about Nick Chubb, who came back last week and got you 10 fantasy points. So now you got him. You're looking at him.
Mm-hmm. Feeling him out.
Yep. There's no buys this week. You're seeing that in the rankings, he's about number 35.
It's respectable.
Yeah. So if you're looking and you're like, I need to start Nick Chubb or Rico Dowdle from Dallas.
I'm going the upside of the name of Nick Chubb. It just gets me up in the morning, makes me want to, get Chubb.
Yeah, get Chubb in the morning. Gotcha.
Rico makes me feel like I'm possibly being indicted for something. You know what I mean?
As Eric Krantz said, it's easy to run on San Francisco now. They're not very good.
They always say it's a Rico case. You know what I mean? So that got me a little scared.
Going to the store, downer, and taking Dow.
Always get a free onion?
Always get a free onion?
Dowdle. Fuck you for that reference.
What about Nick Chubb or Rashad White?
I'm going to take White right now. Because I think he's going to catch a lot of passes because they got
no one
throw
else
the
to
ball to
huck it
somebody.
to. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take Chubb because, once again, penis reference.
Bottom line.
Insert penis
Don't ask him to grow up.
Grow up, Dan.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb or Alexander Madison, who is versus Kansas City, who has shut down the run like
Chubb.
no other.
Nick Chubb.
I'm with you there.
I'm not rolling a fatty with Maddie. I'm sticking with the Chubba Wubba.
Nick Chubb or Tank Bigsby for Jacksonville. They take on Green Bay.
Tank!
Tank's
I
tanking
like
over
this
that
cut
job.
of his jib.
Mm-hmm.
You still play with Army guys, and you're not going to go with Tank? Come on, dude.
Well,
You do?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I mean,
that's
I go
cool.
over there.
No,
That's
it's all
what we
right.
do.
I'm curious if Travis comes back this week or not.
No one asked how curious you were.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm curious
The
about.
segment's
So
called-
I'm just telling you.
We should do a segment about all your little curious things. You got your little kitten, a little kitten corner. Call it the Curious Krieger Kitten.
All right.
So I want to say Chubb.
Okay.
But
Then say it.
I'm not.
Chubb. All
He
right.
said it.
Ah! No, didn't say it.
All right. Nick Chubb or Chris Olave if he is back from his
Wow,
concussion.
you just want someone to pat you on the back and say it's all right. Chris Olave's fire.
Yeah, no, I've got
I'm waiting
no.
if this is in another league. I'm asking for a friend.
I don't. This is not asking for a
Blending
friend.
segments, dude.
I've got no Nick Chubb stock anywhere.
Okay. I would say
I'm going Chubb.
Olave.
Okay.
Last time I saw these guys, one was leaving the hospital and one was going to the hospital. So I'm going to take the guy leaving.
That's such a great. That's such a great observation. Yeah, one guy was getting wheeled in. One guy was getting wheeled.
He's all going, and there's
One
blood
guy was just
everywhere.
kind of just skipping out of there.
in
Woo!
street clothes.
Look at me.
The other guy's got, doctor, we got to, you know what I mean? All that. You know, you watch Grey's
I
Anatomy.
do.
Give me
I
some
did.
lingo, bro.
I quit when
What's-
McDreamy died.
What's done is done. So just
Yeah.
insert lingo.
I was so in, and then McDreamy died, and then I'm like, psh,
Probably watched other
Never watched it again.
no,
hospital
never
shows.
watched it again.
Never watched it once. So
Really?
yeah, really.
Way to be
Okay,
cool.
that's why I got confused. I was on Superflex. I'm like, why is Jameis Winston showing up as a or? All right. Next one. We talked about this guy a little bit earlier, and me and Dan said we'd be scared. Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams or DJ Moore.
Go, DJ.
It's your birthday.
Adams is at New England, and DJ Moore is at Washington.
I don't even care about the matchup. It's a gut call on this, you know, just straight
Yeah.
from the loins.
Yeah, no. It just I thought that was Kranz loins talking to us again, but it was you that
No.
time. They sound similar.
They do. His loins really talk. Mine just kind of caveman.
Just growl a little bit.
Couple of them.
Grow up.
Hell.
Man.
So, or
All right. Eric Kranz, you didn't answer, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I was singing.
Oh,
DJ,
okay.
DJ.
Oh, okay, yeah.
DJ.
Devontae Adams or T. Higgins.
T,
Higgins.
baby. T.
Devontae Adams or Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh,
Ryan Thomas Jr.
give him to me. All day, every day.
He's like the number 9 overall wide receiver right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's been really, really
Yes.
good. And so we had said earlier, like, hey, you still got to put Devontae Adams out there, but there's worlds where you don't.
Well, those are guys that I'm starting no
Okay.
matter what. Is T. Higgins, Brian Thomas Jr., DJ Moore are in your lineup.
You're looking at flex spots then. Devontae Adams or Javonte Williams, who had a big week last week.
Who did the Broncos play?
The Broncos are at home against Carolina.
Ooh, I like Javonte.
It's a safer volume, but a game is coming for Adams, and it could be
Yes.
this week. So
At New England, yeah, it could be.
and it could be against New England because they're bad.
Devontae Adams or your sweet, sweet Terry McLaurin if Jaden Daniels does not play.
I'm still going Terry.
I'm going Adams.
All right.
I'll see you in the parking lot.
How about this
All
one?
right, here we go.
Here's things start getting tricky because Marvin Harrison Jr. has 3 straight single-digit weeks. One of them he got hurt, right?
Yes,
But he hasn't really done anything outside of that 1 week.
that huge week, like week 1.
Yeah.
was huge, but he hasn't.
I
he's
think week
thrown,
2,
but he-
actually. Week
was it
1, he was... Yeah.
Okay, then it was week 2.
People are
Week
saying
2, he was-
he's the worst fantasy first-round pick since Kenyon Drake in 2020.
Oh, Kenyon Drake.
And I was like, Jesus.
We're
this
definitely
is-
meeting in the parking lot
I-
now.
I know. I was offended. I am not here to support that.
I think Marvin Harrison is fine moving forward. I'm not like this guy's a bust.
I mean, he's got to freaking
no.
be. Kyler
But-
Murray looks awesome.
yeah.
But he's running it. James Conner. They're running it. They're trying to control the offense there, and they're not just throwing it up to Marvin Harrison Jr.
No.
Well,
Damn
why
it, free
not?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Why the hell not?
He's a rookie receiver. I say this every year going in.
Shit.
I know, but every year going in, when people get all excited and they start taking rookies in the first round of redraft, I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah, you are
crazy.
For that. Yeah, that's
you're passing over guys who have proven that they can do this.
That's crazy.
You have Malik Neighbors,
Yeah.
who started off huge.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers, I'll say right now, is ridiculous.
Boy, and he's a tight end. You don't really expect
Yes,
that.
no, but he's ridiculous right now. And then you go back and you look at like Najee Harris was huge his rookie year. It's gone downhill since then. Past couple games been decent. Saquon Barkley, huge rookie year. Last year, Bijan, everybody's drafted Bijan. Wasn't they're drafting him like the number 1 pick or number 3 pick. Like, dude, you haven't even seen him yet. They're like, oh no, he's just gonna be star. I'm like, okay, in Dynasty I get it, but not in a redraft. Like, you gotta wait and see. So
Right.
besides a few of Najee, was good, and Saquon, his best year was his rookie year, besides so far this year.
It's time, I think, to come to terms with, hey, Marvin Harrison probably belongs on your bench until something changes.
If
No?
you don't have anything else, you just go upside.
Well, I mean, he's in one of my starting lineups.
definitely-
he's in my 12
Yeah.
man. I got no choice.
Yeah.
I have one. He's
I'm
definitely
going to sit him for what? Jerry fucking Judy? I'm going to kill
I
myself.
mean,
no,
he's
get the
ranked
fuck out of here.
number 9.
You got to, dude. You got to start Marvin Harrison. You just have to temper expectations.
Okay, but let's look at this though.
Could
Go
you
ahead.
say most people who have Marvin Harrison Jr. in their starting lineup consistently probably don't have winning records right now?
Yeah, probably. And then let's say this. Let's say
3-4, man.
after
too.
the injuries, you were able to go scoop up Juwan Jennings, and let's say he plays this week. He's questionable, but let's say he plays this week, and you're looking at a flex spot, and it's Marvin Harrison Jr. or it's Juwan Jennings.
I'm going to say you need to grow the hell up with that question. Don't ever ask me
That's
that
a
again.
good question,
That is
and you
not.
know
It's
it,
Marvin
dude.
Harrison Jr. all the way.
So the
Whoa.
Niners,
All the way.
False. Are you serious?
the
100%.
Niners' healthiest receiver right now got shot a month ago.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yep.
I mean, still, I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah.
That's our healthiest guy right now was shot in the wild, wild west. Just what the fuck?
Yeah, to me that's an easy Juwan Jennings. An easy one. Marvin Harrison has not done anything, guys.
Still.
1 week.
Juwan Jennings, 1 week.
Okay, do you want to look at the rest of the weeks? Juwan Jennings compared to Marvin Harrison's?
I just can't sit Marvin Harrison for
No,
Juwan
that's what I'm
Jennings
saying.
and
It's
go to
part of the
sleep at
principle. I
night.
just can't
I
do
get
it.
them both in there somehow, but
Okay.
I am not picking between the two of them.
All right, you say that,
And if I do, then I'm going. I know what numbers are, dude.
and I'm telling
I
you,
failed math class.
you're giving bad fantasy advice just because.
Well, he's
No,
saying-
this is called
just because
gut.
of his name.
Hey,
Let's
past
say-
fantasy success is not a projector of future fantasy success.
Juwan Jennings had
Sometimes you
one
gotta feel
huge
your
week,
nuts.
and then he's had a couple, 11.
Sure.
11. So it's not like it's that,
No,
that
he's
he's
trash,
putting up
bro.
17,
He's
18,
27
like
jerk-
consistently
no.
great.
No.
Marvin Harrison has broke 11 points once this
Yeah,
season.
that's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
But-
one time.
I
His-
can't
all right.
because the upside I think that can happen.
I
with
was
Marvin
just to
Harrison.
say, upside's enough to make a man fall to his knees and do some things he wouldn't normally do. Putty go.
All right. So
Upside makes me get real crazy. Sorry, they
Fair
get all
enough.
hibbity jib. You got to tell the listeners, like in Super Troopers with the syrup.
Oh,
and
they
I
get
would
all
just
antsy in their pantsy. Yeah.
Over the upside, you know. I told you I was homeless.
Marvin-
from Anthony Richardson's upside.
Yeah. No,
homeless.
you're drunk on that that
Just
AR.
keep drinking it.
Marvin Harrison then or Deontay Johnson.
Let me make it easy for you.
Always Marvin Harrison, no matter what.
No matter what you say, I'm
Okay.
gonna stick it all out there for Marvin, and I know EC's gonna too. Look at him; he's like can barely hold his shit together. He's dreaming about the old days when he's Ohio.
And Andy Dalton was in a car accident, so they're giving him the day off. Should be fine, but we just got to see what happens.
Let me make this a little more difficult then. Marvin Harrison or George Pickens?
Marvin Harrison. That Russ shit was just wow.
dude,
I
that's
just trust
crazy.
Kyler
Yeah.
Murray.
Eric Kranz, you sticking with that
I'm
too?
nutty.
Oof.
I'm like a professor. All right, but nutty.
Well, now I kind of want to see how far up the list. Well, it doesn't matter. These guys are starting anyway.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
okay.
you're gonna get to a point where
You
I'll be
guys
like,
love
well,
Marvin
duh.
Harrison.
He's
Yeah, as far as shitty wide receivers go, I love them. Yes, thanks. Thanks for making me.
Yeah, he's
You got anything
he's
else
the
you want
best
to bring
of the
up?
shitty receivers.
Yeah, of all the pieces of shit out there, I got the most love in him. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Eric Kranz, your favorite quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, you ride or die for Baker.
He is the number 2 fantasy quarterback. Fantasy Pros has him at number 12 this week because he doesn't have any targets.
Sounds about right.
So, Baker Mayfield or Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, man.
12 and 13, respectively, in the Fantasy Pros rankings.
Fantasy-wise, Baker. I'm still going to go with Baker. And here goes my reason why.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
The running game is not as good.
Uh-huh.
Kansas City's been doing, and their defense is not as good as Kansas City's. So they need to put up points because they can get scored on, and he will have to throw it. Kansas City's defense has been really good, so they don't have to put up a ton of. Yeah, they don't have to. They control the clock, and they still score.
All right.
Bringing game script to the table.
Make it more interesting. Baker Mayfield or C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
That was quick. C.J. Stroud, the number 16 fantasy quarterback.
I get it, but I'm looking ahead. The points from last week don't count for this week.
He needs Nico Collins back.
I'm not saying he doesn't. Shit, we all need Nico Collins back.
Everybody
Hell,
needs. I got a little Nico stock myself.
I could take a little dose of that, Nico. I don't mind it for my I almost said my dirty digs. My Stephon Diggs. Shares. So, I mean, it's one of those things with C.J. Stroud. Again, I'm just ripped off the upside. Yeah. Just
hammered.
Baker
Mayfield or Caleb Williams?
Caleb. I'm just, again, going
I'm
forward.
Literally doing it
There's
this
our
week
line.
in a super flex league.
Putting his money where his
I have put Baker on the bench, and I put in...
Also putting his mouth where his
Put my boy Caleb Williams.
What about Baker or Kyler Murray at Miami?
I like Kyler. He scoots.
Yeah. He does scoot.
Scoots.
Yep. Yeah, he does scoot.
Got like a scooter.
Baker or Brock Purdy?
Purdy. Let's get it. I'm sorry I'm out on Baker.
Yeah, you're out.
I'm out.
You're out. Okay. It's been established you're out on Baker.
I had to show that there was a pattern, though, Your Honor.
He just doesn't have I'm curious to see what Baker can do without these.
All right, we're doing it. You get a segment now of all Krieger's curiosities. We got to have it. Just play some music in the background like he's got a fortune.
Put it together for next week.
He's like, I'm curious to see.
Asking for a friend, guys.
It's going to be sick. You're curious. You're curious, bub.
Just asking for a friend here.
All right, let's get it.
DeAndre Hopkins or Austin Eckler?
His friend's acquiring a lot of old shitty talent, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a long shot for my friend.
Are those two guys working out?
7 years ago, that'd be huge.
I understand.
5 years ago,
guys, my friend understands that this is not like awesome. Like a great situation for my friend to be in.
Your friend's fantasy team is on government cheese.
Oh, bro.
And they're going against the Bears. He's got a really good defense. I'm going to say Eckler, though.
That's my friend.
I'd go with Eckler because he's in a system he knows and a team that's kind of zipping. I just feel like Hopkins' best case scenario is an Amari Cooper game, and that's best. He ain't getting no 66 yards and a tutty. He's getting like a 12-yard touchdown, and then that might be it.
He's been a little bit injured, and he was at the beginning of the year. You knew he was going to have it all year, and now he's going to a whole new team.
Got to learn the system.
All right.
I mean, he's going to know a lot of it.
Sure. And they can just throw him on separate routes. But
go out and do this. Go out
and get open. Just get in between the zone, but still.
So in a different league that my friend's in that's a little more promising, he wanted me to ask you guys, assuming that Debo gets out of the hospital with his apparent pneumonia.
He's out.
Okay.
He's out.
Assuming he plays, Debo or Deontay?
I like Debo because of the offense. Okay. I don't mind Deontay, but he's already starting to get into like pissed off in Carolina, and that affects your gameplay when you're just like going out there like, what's the point? And he's one of those guys.
A squeaky wheel guy though, a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe?
but what is Andy Dalton gonna grease it with some garage door lube? He's not.
He's not.
I mean, I'm curious how healthy Debo is.
Same.
If they're like, he's starting to feel better. He had fluid in his lungs. I don't know if they play him this week.
God, your curiosity knows no bounds.
If he does.
I'm constantly curious.
Curious if he's gonna.
He's like, why is this guy
curious if he's gonna play?
So
that's always assuming he plays.
Assuming he plays.
Why are humans 80% waddle?
All right. My buddy was wondering, for tight ends.
I'm getting sick of your pal. Yeah. You got a lot of friends.
Sam Laporta or Cole Kmet?
Boy, this
that's for my friend.
Hurts. I mean, without even blinking week one, I'm like, don't ever ask me about Cole Kmet. It's
but
Laporta
has
now
not been good.
I'm telling you the opposite. Don't come at me with your Sam Laporta bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
Tell me more about this Cole Kmet guy.
Tell me more. Yeah. I think we need to really quick mention what the hell is happening with Sam Laporta.
What the hell is happening? You know? I know more about Area 51 than I know what the fuck's going on with Homeboy because he was elite last year.
They are running it.
Detroit is a good team, man.
How come everyone's singing Goff's praises? He's got to be throwing it somewhere.
Go look at what he's done though. It'll be like 22 of 25, 220 and a touchdown.
All right, partner.
All the way to
I don't know what's happening right now.
We're talking about savings down here. Come on down.
Why did that? Hold on, dude. Why did we get like Texas?
I don't know.
Why are we Texas?
I don't know.
All right.
It was more Texarkana.
I'm playing on Dan. Dan started something, and I just went right over.
Yeah, he did.
So
He got all
weird.
twangy with me. I'm like, well,
Just
hell.
a really weird
Try
thing.
my barbecue sauce, then, you son of a bitch.
I do love barbecue sauce.
Man, dip it in anything, everything. You know.
Sam reported one game with double digits.
I
and
mean,
that's-
get
and it's-
him the fuck out.
One catch for 52 yards and a
Exactly.
touchdown.
I love his upside, but it's not tasty enough to get all just day drinking off it. You
So
know?
it's Cole Kmet, and it's not even
I'm pretty hammered off Cole Kmet. Right
Cole
now.
Kmet,
Just
dude.
roping some Kmet. I was calling him whole Kmet, giving him some BS a couple weeks ago, but I'm allowed to change my tune. It's a week-to-week league.
Yeah, it totally is. Cole Kmet, for comparison's sakes, my computer is not loaded up. Anyhow, he's been better.
Yeah.
Here we go. He's got 2 weeks with double digits, so there. All right.
I mean,
they both suck apparently.
better- I
Tight
mean,
ends.
tight
But one of them
ends.
was the last game they played. He did
There's
pretty
like
good, didn't he?
5 or 6 tight ends. Then there's guys who have upside, and then there's guys like Will Disley and shit. You just throw a dart.
Disley. My buddy's got one more thing he
He's
wanted
a
to know.
real dickhead.
Assuming Olave's concussion thing is over with, and assuming Juwan Jennings plays, which one of those guys would you put in?
I couldn't sleep at night if I didn't play Olave because I just have so much invested, and you know how that goes. You could live with Juwan Jennings blowing up because it'd be like the 3rd time in his career he fucking did. So I'd ease the brakes on your love for your little pal Juwan and get your.
It's my friend for one. It's my buddy. It's not me.
For one. Yeah, you're good.
I can
You're
make
good.
I can make my own decisions.
Yeah, this is for your pal.
I've grown up.
This is for your pal who has no way
Yeah.
to get a hold of us at all in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form. So they go through you. I get it. It's a good strategy.
Yeah, and it's only, I think his thinking is, I mean, Ayuk's out, Debo's got some fluid in the lungs, probably be in and out of the lineup, and it's
Last time that happened.
yeah, he had like 46 points.
Yeah.
So
Well, actually, Ayuk was out there, but he was just like,
not really.
yeah, I'm here, but I'm just coming back from sitting on the couch and getting a giant paycheck.
Should I
Should your buddy
join the class action? No, me personally, join the class action lawsuit against Deshaun Watson for touching my fantasy team in an inappropriate way this season? Because he did. He inappropriately fucked up everything I had going, man. It's dynasty, though. Everyone's like, why would you draft him? I thought, because I got
dynasty.
stuck with him when he was like,
Yeah.
getting away with it.
Fellas, is there anything else you need to add for this week? Any observations?
No.
All right, sounds good.
I think I got it all out of me.
Good. That's good to hear.
Feel better, man.
Guys, that was fun. Guess what? We'll do it again next week.
All right.
Yeah, do it.
Fantasy football for real. Thanks for listening. Good luck this week.
Except for anyone I'm playing.
Yeah, no, I hope. Well, unless I'm whatever.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yep. See ya.